Hi, everybody. My name is Ben Campbell. I'm the president of the Enneagram Northeast affiliate, and I'm here with Joan Ryan, who will be doing our affiliate event this December. Joan is a specialist in the Enneagram and also in IFS, which is Internal Family Systems. And we've been planning to have Joan come speak for us in December on our theme of uh, relationships and how IFS and the Enneagram together can affect that. But we're having this special interview today because of Joan's involvement with something very exciting in the Enneagram community, which is the work of Dr. Dan Siegel. And he's recently published a new book and he's been doing a lot of talks. And Joan has had the opportunity to work very closely with Dan in that new material. So, hi, Joan. It's good to be with you here.
Hey, again, I'll just add on to what you said that the new book is the work of Dan Siegel and what's called the PDP group, Patterns of
Mhm.
Developmental Pathways group. There are four others involved. I just want to
Awesome.
acknowledge that there are four authors.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, well, maybe you could just give us a brief overview of why this is an exciting development in the Enneagram world and what your involvement is.
Sure. This is actually the fruits of a 20-year project, which
Mm,
started at a narrative Enneagram training in, I think, 2004, 3 or 4, I can't remember,
mhm.
where a group of 5 different scientists happened to be at a narrative Enneagram training. One was Dan Siegel, one was David Daniels, it was his program with Helen Palmer.
Yeah,
One was Denise Daniels, who is David's daughter, who is a genetics researcher on personality. One was Laura Baker, who's a professor at USC, I believe, in personality. And the fifth was Jack Killen, who at that time was the assistant or associate director at NIH for alternative therapies, but all
yeah,
scientists.
yeah.
And at that training, they came together to investigate if they could find the scientific basis or roots of what we knew in the Enneagram at that time.
Mm,
So that's where it started. Um, David unfortunately passed away in 2017. They had been working for a long time at that point. But in the 6 years since, the four of them have worked together to create this book, which was published this week, Personality and Wholeness in Therapy.
yeah.
To answer where I come in, I had been working with Dan a bit on IFS and the Enneagram.
Mhm.
And I had the privilege of being his teaching assistant at the first 2 workshops that were presented on the material that's in the book, which is called PDP, Patterns of Developmental Pathways,
Yeah.
at Hollyhock Retreat Center in Canada in August.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of soaked in it at this point, happily so.
Yeah.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
asked me
So do
something
you,
else and I lost the question. I'm sorry.
well, what I'm curious about for our event in December is how does it weave together with what you're already doing with IFS and the Enneagram?
Well, what I do with IFS is I've been an Enneagram teacher for like 30 years. When
Mhm.
I found IFS 11 or 12 years ago, what I found was method that I could use and particular protocols, for lack of a better word, that I could use with my students to help them investigate their Enneagram type internally. IFS is a model that we all have different parts of ourselves, and that those parts are individuals that, in some individual components, let's say, that we can communicate with. And if I can find the parts in a student or in myself that are
Mhm.
holding the Enneagram type structured together, I can help a student or a client to relax the type and bring more wholeness and more choice. I think that
Right.
would be the overview of what I do there. What this new material does is it gives me more to work with in terms of what I offer to a student or a client who is embarked on that internal exploration. we talked about this before, you and I, but the big difference here is that instead of three centers of intelligence, this
Mhm.
new PDP model gives us three centers of motivation, which
Mm.
are supported in brain science.
Yeah.
The hope of the PDP book is that there will be a lot more research done, but for simplifying it purposes, you have for the body center a motivation towards agency, or the other way to say it would be embodied empowerment. I sometimes
Hmm.
use the word autonomy.
Yeah.
That's one center. For the heart center, you have the motivation towards bonding or relationship or connection. And for the head center, you have the motivation towards certainty or predictability,
Mm.
however that individual interprets that. And one of the things that's so wonderful about this is that it opens up the Enneagram material to the vast variety of different expressions of the patterns rather than types, but the
Yeah.
patterns that individuals carry. And I love that.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it seems like it sounds fair to say that our members who attend in December are not only going to get a ton of tools from what your expertise already is in IFS and Enneagram, but also you could say early access to this cutting edge development in the Enneagram world, which you are very close to, and has a lot of practical tools that folks will be able to take away, right? What would you
Absolutely.
say would be a primary takeaway from this session that you're hoping folks will get when they attend in December?
Well, if we look at the overview of a relationship, which is the theme for IFS New England for this year's talk,
Right.
if if I know more about how I am different from the other person with whom I'm in relationship,
Mm.
that creates more pathways for better communication, better connection. If
Yeah.
I know how we're the same, it creates more pathways. And this is additional information, even just this motivational piece. Let's say we're in different centers. We already know that there's a vast difference between someone who's a body center pattern from somebody who's a head center pattern, but this gives us another way to look at it.
Yeah.
And using the IFS method, we can investigate that in ourselves first and then share it. Something like that. Does
Really
that make
great.
sense? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Great. All right. Well, we're about at time today. So thank you for this short chat, Joan. I'm really looking forward to the event in December. For anybody listening, if it's before December 11th or 13th, whenever we have that scheduled, you can go sign up right now. And if you're watching this after, you should be able to go access the recording as long as you have a membership with Enneagram Northeast. So you can go to enneagramnortheast.org to either sign up and attend live or access the archived recording. Okay. Thank you, Joan. Hope to see you all again soon.
Thanks, Ben.
All right. Bye.